Guys, we are less than 24 hours from Mac 3 event. Is it in your, how to say, together project?
Well, I mean, we're together and we have two other people for this particular one. Our third business partner is Matthias Behar, and then we're working on a collaboration with the Table Monkeys, and that's Jason Constantini.
So, tomorrow, maybe, I don't know, all the tickets have been sold. You need more people coming in from Toronto, from Canada area.
Well, I'll say this: we're doing very well, and even though we might be at capacity, we're not turning anyone away.
No, we've done well with the pre-sales already and the EIT sales for the tables, but we definitely could use some more.
You want to cover side? We're not turning you away. We'll have people sitting on each other's shoulders if necessary.
It's all the event. It starts with the team event, New York versus New York,
Ontario versus New York.
and then it's the Mac 3 event, and then it's no elimination tournament. So it's Calais event, many different things. For me, like team event sounds interesting. Low elimination also, so I'll be very interested to see all those things, and also the timetables for every single match is like 10 minutes. So you really will do less than 10 minutes?
10 to 12 minutes is the
Average is
goal.
seven at time.
That's fast.
Yeah.
That's fast.
We've had matches best 3 out of 5 that have gone literally 4 minutes long.
Yeah, and it isn't even though they streamline and they seem fast, it doesn't feel rushed. It's not like
So natural
feels
flow.
rushed. It's the natural flow. The athletes, between rounds, get back to the table when they're ready, and
They get their minute. If they don't want, like, it's their match. Like in that 4 minute match, you would say, well, these 3 of those minutes should have been like pauses. They just didn't care there to wear.
Whereas already what's got that's goal open. So no one's milking the table.
No
Or
one.
all the time.
Yeah, the setup is what helps you. The speed of it and be a treatment. How it's set up. So
What are you expecting from this match? What are the expectations?
For everyone to have fun, to remember why we play sports, which is fun, have a good time, be competitive, join the community, and expose more style arm wrestling to the arm wrestling world, and eventually beyond that. That's our goal.
Is this there's a lot of international callers on this correct? This is the biggest international match or even the
Yes. We have a lot of American, Canadian, and all our others, but yeah.
Philip is here something.
Yeah, so yourself, Oli,
Philip fits like Chris Wamato.
PCFL. But in terms of like outside of the United States, these are our biggest international card, yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you can get say you're unable to watch it live. We still offer the pay-per-view after the fact, you know what I mean? And we won't announce anything for a while, right? And we won't be uploading videos for a while. So everyone will have an opportunity to place the
right, if you don't get the pay-per-view when it starts, you can get it later that day, the next couple of days, and we won't upload.
We obviously can't control what people say on Facebook.
I think results, whoever watches, will be announced instantly. That's
People are
more.
gonna know.
But still, like even though you know the result, you kind of want to watch the match.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Especially if there's an upset.
Especially if it's been turned around. Like it's like 2-3. You're like,
Yeah.
when you're watching, it's like 2-0. You're like, how did he lose?
Yeah.
100%.
So the Mac is many different ideas that you have about arm wrestling, right? How it should be more ergonomic, how it should be, some things like are not fouls, some things are fouls, faster. Do you see this as it could push maybe the whole, the Mac inspired changes in whole arm wrestling? You see that?
Inspiration-wise, yes. I even feel like what exists currently, I have no problem with, even at the amateur, especially at the amateur level, like having people set up in a safe manner, all that, you know what I mean? Like I'm fully supporting of that, but I also believe the table, there's some modifications that can happen to that we haven't really taken a deep dive in the last 30 years at how to refine rules and stuff like that and the table itself. With regards to Mac, the rules that I wanted to implement, the things that I thought would get this sport going, just was not possible with the standard table.
Yeah.
I wanted a rule set, and then I'm like, okay, these are my rule set. How do I devise a table that can accommodate that? Right? So I did that. What I also can tell you is, if you took a mat table and wanted to do WAC rules, you could do it. It's just the dimensions would be different. But you could literally be super strict with the elbow ops and all that stuff. It's an inanimate object. It doesn't have a brain as its own. Whatever you implement in terms of a rule set, the table can accommodate.
I think they would be.
This year, is there many more events planned?
We're gonna, yes and no. It's really depending on success of it.
Yeah, there's not only will we have a lot of the big MAC events, we will have a lot of collaborations and a lot of other smaller tournaments, even local events that are still run by MAC with MAC tables and MAC rules.
We want everyone to get an opportunity. This is we don't want to be looked at as an elitist only thing. We want to be a grassroots, all encompassing. We have something for the layman and the mid-level guy and then the elite. And we just want everyone to understand that in order to grow the sport in the way we'd like to do it, you have to encompass everybody, which is why even at this event, you're going to get a lot of people that are at the amateur level, mid-level, and pro, and we're all mingling. We're all getting to, and guys like yourself, you're very approachable, and people are like, hey, that's Coach Ray, and they're excited to see you.
It is me.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? And the fact that you and guys that are like Devin here, they're so approachable, I think that's what is great about our sport, you know?
I think it's probably the best thing about honesty, right? Is some of your events you might meet everywhere. That's
right.
But if you go to like whatever it is, baseball, basketball, this you won't meet.
I mean, there are guys from my club, even Easy Rollers up in Rochester, and they are coming to this event, of course, because the event's going to be fun. But they're looking forward to afterwards and maybe meeting people or maybe after bowling, which you guys know that's one of the big highlights when you come to some of these events. Is like you guys are saying, you're not just gonna see these guys on stage. You're gonna get on table, you're gonna chat with them, you're gonna see them in person. We've seen them all on TV and on YouTube for so long. So to get to an event like this where so many well-known athletes are together, and then to be able to come and literally be part of that, even just as a spectator, that's one of the best aspects.
Well, I've literally had messages where people were on the fence that they might have had tried a previous engagement, and then I said, they get a hold of me and they say, hey, is Coach Ray on the card? I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay, I'm bound. And I mean, there was other big names on the card too, and they never said that, right? They said, this is Coach Ray, you know?
Well, we're all super. Whatever area we're from or whatever clubs are around us, you tend to see like there's certain pullers that are more popular in certain areas. I mean, there's guys like Devin and Coach Ray that are worldwide, but still there's pullers that are more well known that people are excited to come and see. And the same thing will happen. They'll mention someone on the card that I don't think is like the biggest name, but to them, it's someone they really have seen a lot or look up to. So,
and with regards to you, because you're of average size and stuff like that, like I think. No, but listen, what I'm saying. I think listen to what I'm saying. Like guys who aren't necessarily the genetic gifted people that are gonna look at Devin and go, oh, I mean, you appeal to that average person, right? And who can be extremely successful. You know what I mean? So they look up to you, and that's probably half of your people.
Maybe. I think my smile. Things out you should look.
boyish good looks.
Me too. I'm a rough 45, let me tell you.
It's big for the tournament. Is already pre-registration, or you expect a lot of people? How many people do you expect? I mean, because it's a weird concept, also, right?
Yeah, it's a fun concept.
We don't want to do any predictions, but I think it's gonna be a lot. But what we're really excited about is if we hope it's a massive tournament, just so we can show the masses also fast we've been doing to a tournament. Okay, so let's look at MAC 1. MAC 1 had I think it was 9 prelim super matches. Then it was like 50 or 48 card, and then we had a tournament. And we started like at noon, and we finished all 3 of those events. I think we were like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we were out of there. Yeah. Think about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a 7-hour day like a lot of the other big promotions, but we had literally 3 events all in one.
Including June.
Yeah, including the tournament, right? So that's why we're very confident that we can get. We're very efficient, and everything that we're doing.
For me too, like the toughest and most painful part of arm wrestling is usually the long setups, the long everything, right? So for me, I'm really excited to see how it works, right? I do love the table like that because I grew up at like 20 years on it. It's kind of hard, you know, to change my mind. But I'm really open. Like I said, we had the talk before you even invited you, like way before. I said I'm very interested in this. Like I just like, you know, it's arm wrestling. I want to see.
And like you said before, when you asked, do you think it will be adopted, you know, maybe by other entities or whatever? I wouldn't say that was ever our goal. Our goal was to make a league where we showcased that stuff. And it was never our intention to do well, we had to change the world or the sport. But we wanted to have this league that we felt was just action. And sometimes when people say that tournament was so fast, that has like a negative connotation to it. It's not fast meaning it's rushed. It was efficient, and it was and the crowd was into it the whole time, and they didn't have to wait 15 minutes for a setup and go get a snack, you know. So that's all it is.
Many times, like we have like not so long a big tournament of SNES, and the guys 4 a.m. like the photos in finals. It's crazy, right? So this problem is current honestly with the lawn setups and things like that. If it can be eliminated in a fair way.
You want to hear a really crazy tape on the back? We're actually not married to our table that you're set. We are married to the side that's right. But if Coach Ray tomorrow came up with a better arm wrestling design and a better rule system, the next day Mac wouldn't enter his this. Okay? If anyone's out there who takes a look at our table and
It's like if they have to pull on your table, see how it is in the competition, then they can make assumptions. So I can make zero assumptions before actually that. I think that's for everyone.
do you understand what I mean? That you take information given to you, and then you could, because right now, a lot of times, it's not the guy with the original idea that makes the money or makes the change. It's the guy who observes the guy who makes the original idea and then improves on it. And anyone out there who's open to doing it, I implore you, try to make a new table, and and then if you're on the side of right or more right, we'll adopt that.
I mean, this Mac table has evolved into the one we're going to call to use. There's 8 or 9 that's from the start to the finish, and when we started with these first couple tables, and I brought some to the States, he had some up in Canada, and we took them around to different clubs to get feedback and videos of feedback, and then made changes according to that. And if there's still changes that even you made that are going to help, we'll still do that.
We asked everybody that participated to list the cons, and sometimes the pros too. And what we did is we would evaluate those cons, and if there was just a bunch of one-offs, we kind of put them to the side. If there's anything that was repeated, we changed it. That's right. Added 9 times, bro. That's a lot.
And it won't be, and it most likely won't be the last.
Like there is a pit pad phase. I think we're gonna leave that for about a year out because it's more just. It's not that there's anything wrong with our pads. I have it in my brain that this thing will look way cooler, but we have to stick to a certain standard once we have a competent table. But then eventually just that one last final where you're like, look at this, Like right now, I think I'm so in love with the table. That's why I was saying. I'm biased, obviously, but I don't want to be like that logically. So if there's something better, my partners and I will get together and we will make a decision at that point, right? But as it stands right now, we're pretty certain and we're pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we're excited for everyone to try the table and you here this weekend. And a lot of people have been looking forward to getting on the table, and they send us messages all the time. How can they get a table? How can they try a table? And I have a few of these, and I have sent them around New York State and even further for people to try and use. And so
the table you're going to see tonight, was the Mac 2 table. And I'm curious to see what you say about that. And just know tomorrow you'll be on a Mac 3 table, which is different. It's slightly different, but just tight, yeah, but it's just little improvements here and there. They're almost not identifiable, but there was a mouthful of complaints where we, you know what I mean? And so if you love Mac 2 table, then we're gonna say about Manga at the Mac 3. That's the way we're
Right, awesome. Team tournament, then we have Mac 3 and no elimination. No, I want to say elimination. No elimination. Yeah. That's the short then. Love on.
lower.